Hello everyone, welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet. Today we're making this chocolate chip cookie. I forgot to say on the video yesterday, the C2C coffee mug square, I forgot to say, well actually I forgot my whole introduction on that video, so I apologise for that. I forgot the whole introduction. I was going to do it at the end, but I totally forgot. I forgot to say to you that this is the start of what we're calling foodie week. So yesterday we had the coffee mug as our first day. Always good to start with a cup of coffee or tea or something. And so we're having a week of food related squares, and even the 8th day is slightly food related because it's based on the shape of a stick of wheat. Yes, so we had the coffee cup yesterday, and today we've got the cookie. If you are particularly averse to doing food squares, then just try and change them up in whatever way suits you best. So if you don't want a food square today, then just leave the chocolate chips off. Just do the circle for the cookie, do the frame, and just leave those chips off, and it will just be a very pretty textured square. If I hold this up here, we are making this circle in seed stitch. We've done a square in seed stitch rows, and this cookie is made in seed stitch, so it does need a little bit of concentration for that, but we're making it in seed stitch, so it's nice and textured. If I turn over to the back, you can see where I did my chocolate chips, but there is some nice texture going on this circle. So you can just make a beautiful textured square if you prefer, rather than food. And you can obviously do your cookie, do your chips in any colour you like. You can make them sprinkles, change it up to suit you. So I am going to talk you through the whole square and cookie, and I'll show you how to do all these chips and everything. You will need your hook as usual. You'll need some scissors for colour changing. You'll need a needle. I've got a load of needles in here. So you'll need a needle, a yarn needle, and you will need a stitch marker. Very handy for this one. You don't need it, but it's very handy. So that's that, and you'll need ideally 3 colours of yarn, or you could use 2. You could use your chip colour as the background, whatever, all one colour, up to you. So that's the square. And the only other thing to say, I haven't mentioned this before, I am having technical difficulties and equipment failures and all the rest. So please continue to bear with me, and I know we've been a bit late and we're still waiting on one, but I am trying my very best. So this camera may decide to autofocus quite a lot, so going in and out of blurriness and being clear. I know it's a problem, and I'm really sorry. I will try my best to explain everything fully, just in case it goes a bit blurry at any time. Okay, so with all that out of the way, grab your things, decide what you're going to make, what flavour cookie you're going to make if you're making a cookie, and let's get going. Okay, so to start our cookie, you need a ring. So you can either do your chain 4 and slip stitch, or you can start with a magic ring. And then you are going to do a chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, and then you're going to do a single crochet into the ring, and then you're going to do a double crochet and a single crochet. So this is seed stitch, alternating double crochet and single crochet. So we're going to alternate and do a double crochet now, and then a single crochet, and then a double, and then a single, and then a double, and I think, well, we are ending on a single, so I believe that's why I was getting my count right. It's a double now, and then it's a single, So you should finish with a single, and we should have 12 stitches, including your first chain 3. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, only 10. So one more double and one more single. And then you're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. And that's that round done. Then you can pull your ring in tight, whichever version you use, pull it in as tight as you can. Close up that centre as tight as you can. There we go. Okay, so round 2. I'm sorry, that first round was a bit dark. I've got my curtain pulled across because it's too sunny and bright. So now I've put my camera light on, so hopefully it will be better for this round. So this is what we've got so far, if it will focus. There we go. So obviously it's not going to look very circle at the moment because we've got sort of tall, small, tall, small, tall, small. Okay, but it will work out in the end. So we're going to chain 1. So what we do for this, because we're doing seed stitch, if you've already done the seed stitch square, what we do is we alternate double crochet and single crochet. So you'll start a row. So when you're doing it in rows, you start one row with double crochet, and you start the next row with single crochet. So you're always alternating. With circles, if you're familiar with making circles, you need to increase your rounds. So it can get a little bit confusing, but hopefully we'll be okay if we just take it one stitch and one round at a time. But just remember, you are alternating double crochet and single crochet. Okay, that is seed stitch. So for round 2, we go with chain 1. That doesn't count as anything, but then we're going to do a single crochet in that same stitch, or same chain, if you like, that we did a slip stitch in. So do a single crochet in there. Now this is where you might want to grab a piece of yarn or your stitch marker, because we're going to be doing double crochets and these stitches sort of come up and they get pushed down. It's quite easy to lose a single crochet there. So grab your stitch marker and pop it in that very first single crochet so that you can find it again at the end. And then you want to do a double crochet into the same stitch. So we're increasing by doing 2 stitches in each stitch from the previous round. So you're going to do in the next stitch a single crochet and a double crochet. So this round's quite simple. Single crochet and double crochet in every stitch around, and you will end with 24 stitches. So we started, the first round was 12 stitches. This round you'll have 24 stitches altogether. So single crochet and double crochet in every stitch. Okay, so this is what you should have so far. You should have finished on your double crochet for your last stitch, or single crochet and then double. And then this is where your stitch marker is handy. Just pop that out and do a slip stitch into that first single crochet. And there we go. So you can see the texture starting to form already, rather than just doing a plain single crochet or double crochet circle. You can see there's some nice texture forming already, which is good for our textured cookies. So the double crochet rows rounds aren't as difficult to see, that chain. It's only the tiny single crochets that you might find the stitch marker useful, or you can pop it into your top chain if you like. So this next round we are going to do a chain 3 as our first double crochet. Remember, we started with a single crochet last round, so we're starting with a double this round, and then we're going to do a single crochet into that same stitch. Okay, so if you wanted to put a stitch marker in the top of this chain, as this focuses, you could, because you can see this is folded over slightly, so if you wanted to put your stitch marker in there, then go ahead and do that. Otherwise just leave it as it is. So we've done a double crochet and then a single crochet, and then in the next stitch you're going to do a double crochet, and then you're going to do, so we've just done a double crochet. What we're going to do for this is, for our increase, we're going to do 2 stitches and then 1 stitch, 2 stitches, then 1 stitch around. Okay, so it's 2 1 2 1 2 1. Then you also need to remember to alternate your stitches, and this is where a little bit of concentration does pay. So we've done 2 stitches in the first stitch, 1 in the next, so it's 2 in the next, and we've just finished with a double crochet. So we're going to do a single crochet and a double crochet in that stitch, and then a single, double and single, double, single and double in the next, single in the next, double and single in the next, double in the next, single and then double in the next, single in the next, double and single in the next, double in the next, and then a single and double, single crochet, double and single, double crochet in the next, grab some more yarn. Okay, so we just did a double, and then we're going to do a single and double, and then a single, a double and single, double, single and double, and a single, and we should now have 36 stitches. So just have a count around and see if you have 36 stitches. When you're counting, just be aware that some of your stitches at the top will be quite small. So if I come around to the beginning here, you've got your chain here, and then you've got your double, your single crochet. Your 36 counts, this chain counts as one. So you've got your then single crochet, double, and then you've got your single here, and that's a really tiny stitch in between there, so don't miscount those, okay? And you need to notice those on the next round to go into these tiny little single crochets. Okay, so 36 stitches, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of your chain 3. So find the top of your chain 3 and do a slip stitch in there, and then I'll meet you for round 3. Okay, so if you didn't use it last round, you might appreciate your stitch marker back again for this round for your first single crochet. So you are going to do a chain 1 and then a single crochet in that same chain that you did your slip stitch, and then I'm going to pop my stitch marker on that little single crochet, and then you're going to do a double crochet in that very same space, very same stitch rather, chain, Okay, so you want a single and a double in that same stitch. And then this time we're going to do, so last time we did 2, then 1, 2, then 1, 2, 1. So this time we're doing 2, 1 and 1. So 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. But still alternating our stitches. So I'm going to help you on this round again. I'll just check how many rows we have. Well, this is our last row of cookie, last round. So round 4. I might have called it round 3 before. Sorry, I'm just leaning over to scroll for the pattern. Okay, so right. So we've done our single crochet and our double crochet. So now we're going to do a single. Oh, that's a double. So, right. First stitch, single crochet, double crochet. Next stitch, single crochet. Then a double crochet in the next. Next stitch, single and double. Single in the next, double in the next. Single and double in the next. Single, double, single and double in the next. And you are going to repeat this all the way around until you get to the end. So single, double in the next, single and double in the next. Repeat this all the way around, finishing with a double crochet, and I'll meet you back around where we started. And this is what we've got now, a really lovely textured cookie circle. And you should have 48 stitches. If you want to count around, see if you've got 48 stitches. Make sure you've not missed out any little tiny stitches or anything. 48 stitches, and then you're going to slip stitch in your first single crochet, which is where you've got your stitch marker if you've used one. Okay, I was just counting my stitches around. I've got 48. Don't you love it when you finish with the right amount of stitches? And then slip stitch. If you finish with one less stitch or one more stitch, well, one or two, if you finish with one or two extra stitches or one or two less stitches, don't worry, don't go and undo all your work unless you really want to. If it bothers you, then obviously undo it and start again. But if you have finished with just one or two either side, don't worry, we can fix it. It's not a problem. I'll try and remember to tell you how you can fix it. It's absolutely fine. Don't panic. Okay, so that's the end of our actual cookie. So you want to fasten this off. Even if you're using the same colour to do the whole square in the same colour, you still want to fasten off so that you can rejoin in a different place. Okay, so time to do your chips or your sprinkles, whatever you're doing on top of your cookie, if you're doing it. If you're not, then you'll just have to skip forward this part of the video if you don't want to do this. So show you here, in case you're not actually crocheting along right at this moment, you're just watching the video, show you this beautiful texture. Seed stitch is such a great texture square. Look at the back, so lovely. Would make a really good face scrubby, actually. Really good texture for a face face wash pad. Beautiful. Okay, right, so let me stop admiring what I've done. Okay, so as I told you, I'm going to use some cream yarn for white chocolate chips. So grab a length of yarn. Ideally, well, yeah, you want a good length. I've probably got about 24 inches here. No, 36 inches probably. just, I'd rather have too much than too less, and have to join a new thread. So grab your yarn, and then you have two choices. If you've seen the pattern already, in the pattern we show you how you can do strands for like long like sprinkles, or how you can do French knots for like chips. So I'm going to show you both ways. So first of all, you want to go through one of the back loops. Focus, there we go. Go through a back loop with your needle and yarn, leave a small piece, and then go back through there, or through a different piece. Just make sure you're not coming through on the front, and then just make sure when you get down to the last little bit that you tuck this little length under there and secure. There we go. Okay, just don't pull too tight on that and you'll be fine. You could go through another way if you want to. So if you wanted to just do the really simple way, you could just come through somewhere and then go through somewhere else rather randomly, make these little lines of yarn. You can go through the stitch, through the spaces, or you can go through an actual stitch. You can break a stitch and go through. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to undo this. But you can just randomly do these pieces of yarn for sprinkles. So let's just do that. So, like so. And then on the back, it's not going to be as neat on the back. The back's not going to be as neat as some squares are on the back, because you will need to sew on the back. So you can do that. That's really simple. I'm just going to undo this. Just pause. Okay, so I've undone that because I'm going to show you how to do the French knot now. French knot is commonly used in embroidery. So what you want to do is, again, just secure on the back as you have done, as you would do if you were doing those little lines. And then what you want to do is, this time you can come through in a gap. So where you've got these focus, there we go, you can come through these big gaps between stitches. That's fine, but when you go back through, you want to make sure you go in between a stitch. You want to break a stitch, okay? Break a stitch, not go through a gap, because your French knot, as I discovered, can just pop through, and that's a bit of a shame. So what you want to do, get your needle. You can use a smaller needle, that's absolutely fine, but I've got quite a chunky one here. So depends how big you want your chips to be. So you want to take your needle, pop it down, and wrap your yarn around it between about 3 to 6 times. A traditional French knot is 3 times, but to vary the size of your chocolate chips, if you want to, you can do between 3 and 6. I'm going to do one with 3 first of all, and then what you want to do is hold this yarn here fairly taut, and then you're going to go back into your cookie very close to where this yarn is coming out, but not in the same place and not through a big gap like I told you. So hold this yarn quite tightly, and then if you can see, I'm just going to break this stitch and go through there, and then once you get to about here, you can let go of this yarn. I like to pop my thumb over this, and all this yarn is going to go through those loops that you made, those wraps. Can you see, if this focuses, can you see those 3 loops there? So all this yarn is going to go back through there and it's going to secure it. So I like to just rest my thumb there, just guide the yarn gently through. I'll turn sideways so you can see that a bit better. Gently guide your yarn back through. Take your time until you're used to it. Go through. Don't, now when you get near to the end, don't pull too tightly. just enough to secure it and have a little bit of resistance on there. And then if you look here, you have a little French knot, a little French knot on the top there. That's your chocolate chip. Or you could do red ones and make cherries maybe. Ooh, chocolate and cherry cookie. Okay, so what you want to do then is go through the back, anywhere on your cookie. So maybe we'll do one up here near the outside. Come through. It depends how much yarn you want to carry on the back. Just pull this bit out of the way. It depends how far you want to carry your yarn as to how far away you go for your next chocolate chip. I'm not worried about the back because it's probably going to be made into a cushion. Probably going to make all my foodie squares into a cushion or something. Okay, so I'm going to do a bigger chip now. So we did 3 wraps for this one. This one, and you can wrap towards you or you can wrap away from you, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do a big one, 5 wraps there. Holding this, oops, let's do that again. Holding this piece here quite tightly until you start it. Find where you came through. So I'm going to go here, wait for it to focus, which it will if I move. There we go. So I'm going to come out here, I'm going to go back in very close and through a stitch, not through a gap, through a stitch. So I'm still holding this piece tight with my thumb, and then as I get the needle through, I've done those loops quite tightly obviously, so push that through. Now you can see the yarn is starting to go through those loops. Okay, so just rest your thumb there, guide that yarn through nice and slowly. Don't let this tail get caught. Just pop that back through. It's nice and slowly, take your time. And there's a piece got caught. Pull that through. There we go. So nice and slowly until you feel a bit of resistance, and then you can stop. And there you've got another French knot, but a bigger French knot for your chip. And this is where you can probably see that if you went through one of your bigger gaps, these smaller chips particularly would just pop through and you'd lose them. So this is what you need to do all over. So choose whether you're doing the French knot or whether you're going to do those these kind of pieces for some more sort of sprinkle like. Okay, up to you. If you're doing the French knot, do between 3 and 6 wraps for different size chips. Try and bring this in so you can see those. There we go, different sizes. Okay, do that all over, as many or as few as you like, and I'll see you back when I've done mine. So when you've done your chocolate chips or sprinkles, just turn your work over and then fasten your yarn off. So as before, go under some yarn, pull through again, and then if you're used to sewing, you'll know that you generally then go back through that loop. Pull that tight, and then you can just weave this in and hide it just as you would any other yarn that you're working with. Okay, so you have a choice now whether you want to sew these ends all in now, or whether you want to sew them in when you've finished the whole square. So I'm going to leave mine for now and get on with showing you how to do the outside, the frame. Okay, so I am going to use a brown and turn my light on actually. There we go, hopefully that's going to be a bit brighter. Okay, so I'm going to use a brown to frame mine, and what you're going to do is join your colour in any stitch. So just choose a stitch any way you like and join your colour. So let's pop that through there, join it with a slip stitch, and then you're going to do a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and in that very same stitch we're going to make our first corner. So we've got one, this chain has a double crochet, then you're going to do a double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. So your corner is 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, and then you are going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to skip 5 stitches and single crochet into the 6th stitch. So skip 5. Remember, some of your stitches are going to be quite tiny, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go into the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do a single crochet into that 6th stitch. So chain 5, skip 5, single crochet, chain 5, skip 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in this next stitch you're going to do your corner of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and you're going to do exactly the same all the way around. So you're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then chain 5, skip 5, single crochet, chain 5, skip 5, do your corner. Simples. And I'll see you when you have 4 corners and 4 sets of chains. Okay, when you've finished all of that, you're going to slip stitch into the top of your first chain 3. And that's the end of your first round of your frame. Okay, framing off this little beauty. Okay, I might have done some slightly loose chains there, but don't worry, it will all be fine in the end. So for round 6, or the second round of our square framing round, we're going to do a chain 3, counting as a double crochet, and then you're going to do a double crochet into that next stitch, which is the next double crochet. And into your corner space, you're going to do exactly the same corner we did before of 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. And then you are going to double crochet, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. This square is going to be completely symmetrical. Each side is exactly the same. So you're going to do chain 1. Somebody asked me, why have I done a chain 1 here? I don't know why I did a chain 1, but I just decided when I was designing it that let's just not do it in quite the normal way that we square squares off, square circles off. Let's just change it up a bit. So just let's do a chain 1, why not? But let's just, you know, have a little extra something. Okay, and in the next chain space we're going to do 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go. Now I know I'm making this again. Instead of putting lots and lots of double crochets in here, I thought let's do a chain to take it over and not do as many double crochets. Let's just open it up a little bit more. That's why I did it. Just to explain that there. So then we chain 1, and then we're going to do 4 double crochet in the next chain space. 3 and 4, and then you probably guessed it, chain 1, and then you're going to do a double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then you're back to your corner space of doing 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 4 double crochet, chain 1, 4 double crochet in the next space, and then back to your corner, and you're going to do that around all 4 sides. When you get back around to the beginning, you're going to do a slip stitch into the top of your first chain 3. I will see you when we have the whole of this round finished. And this is what we have so far. So you can see those chain spaces just open it out a little bit more than having all double crochets filling the space. So our next round is lovely and simple. Lovely simple. Not much to think about. Don't have to remember to do your chains. Did any of you forget to do your chains as you were going along? Yep, me, I did. Had to undo and do them again. So this round is just going to be chain 3 for your first double crochet, and then you're going to do a double crochet in every single stitch, but not in your chain space. So no double crochets in your chain space, is just 1 in every stitch, and in your corner, exactly as you've done before, 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. So you'll have 80 double crochet at the end of this round, and I'll see you 80 double crochet later. Okay, this is us at the end of round 7. All our double crochets and our little lovely little open places where we've had our chains. So we have got one more round to go, and this round, as always, you can choose what size you need to do. Generally, when we've tested this, when I designed it, when we tested it, we've just needed a single crochet round. If you have got your size already, then obviously you can just fasten off now. Otherwise, you can do a single crochet, or if you need a bit bigger, maybe a half double crochet, and that's all you need. And it's just, as we've done before, 1 single crochet in every stitch. So do a chain 1 first, and then ignore that, and then do a single crochet in the same space, same stitch, and then just do 1 single crochet in every stitch along, and in your corner 2 single crochet, chain 1, 2 single crochet. If you're doing half double crochets, just do a chain 2, and that can count as your first half double crochet, as always. So I'm going to do a single crochet round, and then I'm going to get back to you and show you the final square. So actually in your corners you only need a chain 1, so single crochet, chain 1, 2 single crochet, chain 1, 2 single crochet, sorry. This is mine at the end of that round, 6 inches, and my cute little chocolate chip square. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Lots of texture going on there. And I can't wait to see what you've made, what type of cookies you've made, and how you've done yours. And yeah, so can't wait for tomorrow's food square. Something a little more healthy than a cookie tomorrow. So if you have found this video useful, helpful, you've enjoyed crocheting along or just watching along, then please click that like button and give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit subscribe and come and join us in the group for all the photos and chat that goes on there about our crochet squares. And I hope you're enjoying Foodie Week. Until next time, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cold.